talk about some of the history of this area and this school. I'd like to introduce Tom Balcom, our Tangletown resident historian, and giving a talk on the is giving a talk at the Washburn Library. So I'd like to bring Tom up to the stage. Tom, thank you.
Good evening. What a spectacular celebration just so far. We got a lot I'm going to be talking about the origins of Washburn in terms of how and why Washburn High School ended up here in South Minneapolis. It was the early Twin Cities. Talking about the city, the neighborhood, and the schools in that era. In these cities of Twin Cities, early population centers based on rivers and railroads. The picture here shows what it looked like 150 years ago. Washburn Crosby Company flour mills along the downtown Minneapolis riverfront were built up during this period of the early statehood of Minnesota, 1860s, 70s, 80s. And this is a dramatization of what happened back in 1878 when the Washburn Mill and other flour mills exploded along and were destroyed under the flour dust ignited in the mills. Cadwallader Washburn, who I'm sure most all of you recognize, was the owner of the flour mills and lived in Wisconsin. He suffered much guilt and sadness due to this mill explosion and died just 4 years later in 1882. William Drew Washburn, Cadwallader's younger brother, lived in Minneapolis at Fair Oaks and carried out the provisions of his will, which included establishing an orphanage for the care of orphans that was prompted by the mill explosion. Brother William searched undeveloped lands of what was to become South Minneapolis and found a suitable site on Nicollet Avenue and Minnehaha Creek, which is at the bottom of the slide. This 1880s map shows you where downtown Richfield was as it was being annexed and incorporated into Minneapolis. The Washburn Orphanage was built and opened in 1886, while William Washburn's plan included a surrounding residential subdivision with the saying, which men of business can get away from the noise of the city and the inconvenience of small lots and crowded neighborhoods. The Victorian architecture of that era gave the orphanage both an imposing and a foreboding appearance. A few years after the Washburn Orphanage opened, it was filled to capacity with over 100 children. And this is right on the corner of basically where Ramsey or now is Justice Page School is today. This is the foreboding monstrosity of a building. And am I going backwards? I'm sorry. Okay. Fast forward 40 years to 1925. when Washburn High School was being built, a block west of the orphanage at 49th Street. And a view of the school from 50th Street during that same time period. Washburn High School, taken from the football field when it first opened 100 years ago. This map shows the way the streets, the paved streets of Minneapolis, especially South Minneapolis, were headed south and actually stimulating a lot of development and school building and the like of that. Here's an aerial view looking south of Washburn, the Water Tower, and the Minnehaha Creek. Here's another aerial of the view looking north and excavating a huge hill between the high school and the orphanage that existed at the time. This is a ground view of that same hill, and it was a monster. Washburn is just on the left of the photo, so this is in the 1929. Looking east, Washburn High School in the foreground, and the huge hill has been eliminated, and the orphanage is gone. Looking east again, I'm sorry that's a little bit faded, but the schools are in place and the neighborhood is filled up with houses. This one shows Macquarie Athletic Field that is open for football games and later open for track and field events. A current drone photo looking to the east, similar to the view you have, only the cover it's looking to the west. I am hopeful that all of the neighborhood schools and housing infrastructure will be around for another 100 years. Yep. And if you've got friends and family that might want to know more, or you can come back again. So tomorrow I'm going to be talking at hopefully a good discussion at Washburn High School's early years at the Washburn Library on Lindale Avenue. And I'm hoping that that'll be a good discussion and meeting too. Thank you. And,